The LEGO City rebuild is essentially done, but there are still a few areas that need some work. On the end of this street, there are 2.5 base plates that are open for the taking, and another 1.5 just on the opposite side of the hospital, plus 2 more right beside the bookshop and a half base plate right over there by the construction site. And then, of course, I need to continue working on Central Park. So it seems like there's a bunch of open space in the city right now, which is pretty exciting because that will fuel future projects. So I could indeed start a new custom project, such as a modular building for one of those open spaces, or I could continue working on that park. However, my eyes are on the bowling alley. After moving the bowling alley into its new home, I left 2 base plates open in front of it, which are currently being filled by the old school T road plates. Yeah, those don't really look that good. So I'm thinking before I start something new, maybe I should finish this because that'll sort of make this block look a lot better. So you can see there's a car right here. There's not a whole lot of space for it to come through. So I'm thinking a one-way parking lot would probably be optimal. And then we'll put some parking spaces up against the bowling alley. There's 2 strange road plates, one on either side, pulling into the parking lot. And they're like these modified T plates. This one is actually missing its crosswalk, so we'll have to fix that up. But they have 4 studs of sidewalk on this side, and then 12 studs of sidewalk on this side. So I'm pretty excited because I think I have enough dark gray brick to brick build this parking lot, and that doesn't really happen very often. You can just add so much more detail to parking lots and also roads when you actually brick build them. Classically, I'd be using road plates or tiles, and it just doesn't look as good, but dark gray brick is not easy to find cheap, so that's sort of why I did it the other way. But the first thing I did was grab 2 base plates, and then I marked in my sidewalks. So I'm going to put 4 studs of sidewalk to match up with that road on the back side of the lot, because there's some pretty cool modular buildings there, like the Palace Cinema Corner building, I believe, on this side, and it needs a larger sidewalk in my opinion. And then I put 2 studs up front here, and this is going to extend the sidewalk of the bowling alley. And then I got into doing some Lego math. So I just laid out a whole bunch of dark gray bricks here and calculated how many bricks / plates is 64 studs wide. So I just put some markers in here, put some bricks butt up against the other base plates, and then just sort of calculated that. So it turns out 64 studs of base plate is actually 53 bricks plus 1 tile. I'm going to do 7 stalls that are 7 bricks wide. That's 49 bricks. So 4 bricks remain, which is equal to 12 plates plus that tile. I'm going to do 8 yellow lines. I'm going to put yellow lines to mark the stalls. So that's going to gobble up 8 of the 12 plates remaining plus that tile. That's going to leave 2 plates on one side and 2 plates and a tile on the other side. So it won't be perfectly centered because of that tile, but honestly, once you get this thing full of cars, you're not really going to notice it. But that's the math there. 53 bricks, 7 stalls, that's 7 bricks, that's 49. 4 bricks remain, which is 12 plates plus the tile, the yellow lines, and then the plates on either end to inset those yellow lines from the sidewalk. So I think that should work out. We've got 16 studs for vehicles, so I'm going to stick to that there. And the bricks are going to be running that way. And then 7 wide should be able to accommodate most vehicles. And that's actually going to leave us some room back here. I'm actually going to run my bricks the other way rather than making it long like that, because then maybe I'll be able to embed like an arrow or some details in it running this way. And if I kept the bricks running this way, then I wouldn't be able to do that. And this is how many bricks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus a tile, so it can fit in there nicely. And the bricks are just going to lay on its side. So I just had to get the Lego math down pat before I started even considering constructing this, because obviously getting everything spaced evenly is very important when you want to build a detailed parking lot. So there you go. There's the math for a 2 base plate parking lot. I finished building all 7 parking stalls, and I was like, you know what? I want to add some more detail. You know those like pieces of concrete that you commonly scrape your bumper on? Yeah, I decided to add those with the use of 1x8 tiles. However, there is a problem. When these are 7 bricks wide, I cannot get these aligned in the center. You see there's one additional plate there away from that yellow line, and there's no plate there. So in order to fix that, I would either have to add an additional plate to each parking stall, making it 7 bricks, 1 plate, or remove 1 plate, making it 6 bricks, 2 plates. I can't add any because there's not enough like room on the sides, right? We only have 2 plates over here and 2 plates and a tile over here, making a total of 5 plates. So there's no way that I can add the plate. So the only way that I could center this piece of concrete here is by removing a plate. Then it'll just be like on the edge of the yellow line, and that might be pretty cool. But that's going to free up 7 more plates. Like I said, we already have 5 plates, so that's a total of 12 plates, making it, what is that, 4 bricks. Do I really want to put 2 bricks on either side of my parking lot? Not really, but I think this has sparked a pretty cool idea. And that idea is to use the space generated by reducing the parking stalls by 1 plate. You can see the 2 plates on the left-hand side there on that stall and also on this stall. But to use that space to potentially create a spot for either motorcycles or maybe some sort of bicycle rack. Maybe it'll have to go up on the sidewalk, or I'll lower the sidewalk in that area so I can put a bicycle rack. So if people who are biking around the city can lock up their bike there. I'll work on installing the bike rack once I actually get this place in the city in front of the bowling alley there. But the next thing I need to work on is the straight road that actually leads up to the parking stalls. And I wanted that to be a one-way road just because there's not really room for two-way traffic in this little tiny parking lot. So I wanted to add arrows to that little street. I came up with this design right here. Pretty cool. I think it looks like an arrow, and you can see I've got it framed by the dark gray pieces. Now I do have some additional plates on the left-hand side here, specifically 2 of them. That's so I can center it within this one-way street, which is going to be 8 bricks plus 1 tile or a plate, because tile pretty much is a plate. And over here I've got one installed. So you can see it goes 1, 2, 3 bricks, and then you've got the straight, right? Or the arrow, I should say. And then 1, 2 plates, 1, 2 brick, and then the tile on the end. So it's pretty much, no, it is dead center within that 8 brick roadway there. You can see all the plates and everything that went into it. If you want, you can just pause it so you can replicate that arrow there. But now I just need to install that 4 studs in, just like the other one, and then finish off all of this dark gray brickwork along with the tile top. Oh yeah, the reason for the 2 additional plates right here on the stud side is just so that when I install these bricks here on the side of it, they line up, and then I'll be able to interlock that with bricks. So it's just going to save me a little bit of grief just by adding 2 plates on that side of the arrow. Oh yeah, and I also tiled off the sidewalk as well, so that we've got our plate and also our 2 panels, which will create the parking lot. So there's the parking stalls with the yellow lines and the evenly distributed bumper ruiners there. And then we have the straight road with the 2 arrows. I probably could add another arrow, but I think it only needs to be at the entrance and also the exit of the parking lot. And I can flip this if I wanted to have the traffic flow the other way, so it's sort of reversible, which is nice. And then we can just place this in there. It's just going to sit there loosely. The roads around it will hold all this stuff in place, not a big deal. And it's just going to sit on top of the studs. And just like that, we have a pretty cool looking parking lot. It's time to place it in the Lego City. So you can see those T-plates. They don't look very good at all. They were just temporary placeholders. Let's grab those with the minifigure and get them out of there. And now we can pop in the basic base plate with the sidewalk. And then of course the panel with the parking stalls. Snaps in half conveniently, but slides right into place pretty easily. And then the one-way road. It's a bit of a tight fit because it's exact, but it all comes together pretty easily. Now that I see it installed in the Lego City, I'll have to make some adjustments to the sidewalk as well. This here should definitely come out to the full length of the parking stall, especially because this is a one-way. So I'll just increase the size of that using some plate. Should be fairly easy. And then I'll have to consider that bike rack as well and see if it comes onto the sidewalk there, because there's not a whole lot of space there and I don't want the bikes hitting whatever vehicle is parked there. So I'll have to make those adjustments, which should be fairly easy. And it looks like there's a little bit of a gap here. I'm not sure if that's just plate misalignment within my city. This is definitely 64 studs long. Like it's just bricks going the length of the plate. So maybe I'll have to like wedge a tile in there. But I guess it's just, I don't know, an imperfection in the road, right? Not everything in this world is perfect. So maybe there's a little bit of a gap there when you drive in. Just go a little bit slower than you normally would, I guess. Don't come zooming into the parking lot. I've got both sides prepped and ready for the new road install, which I think I have prefabbed correctly over on my desk here. So the road extender has been extended. The sidewalk has been reduced by 2 studs, making space for the 2 additional studs that I'll give to the parking lot for the bike rack. This will be a custom made section of road. I had to remove the 8x16 panel just because it doesn't really work with the extended road extender. And then over here is the more simplistic side. The sidewalk remains 6 studs wide. We've got our 2x2 dark gray tile there, which will just fill in the space of the road underneath the curve of the sidewalk. And then once again, another one of those extended extenders. So the first thing I do is install that road extender, which is just bricks on its side, a white plate, and then also some tile, and then the sidewalk. Once again, that 2x2 dark gray tile going in the corner there, just blending in with that road extender around that curve. And then it's time to pop in the 8 wide road that was built using brick and a tile, and then we'll have a guy who just broke the law. He drove in the exit, and this cop here, he's not too happy at all. He's gonna bust him right now. I said, you can't go that way. Sorry, buddy, you're getting a ticket. All right, now it's time to take care of this side right over here. So there is that weird extension. I actually built it too large because I forgot about the 2 studs of sidewalk, but that's going to be pretty easy to fix. Then I can pop in the road extender on this side, the 4 wide sidewalk, and also I can't forget about that 2x2 tile, which sort of matches up with the road there. And I'm just going to fix up that sidewalk by adding a 2x2 brick, 2x2 plate, and a 2x2 tile. And then fix that little road extender, which was 2 studs wide with a brick and a plate, I think it was, just to get the math correct. Finish up with the sidewalk there, lock everything in place, and then put some bikers where the bike rack is going to be once I finish this project. There we go. I think that parking lot looks pretty cool. I got to come up with a design for a bicycle rack. I was thinking it would be really cool to take the basketball hoop pieces and mount them upright, but I just can't seem to find any in my inventory. I'm talking about these pieces right here. I know I have some somewhere, but I can't find them. I only have the one, and I actually took it from the hoop just outside of the Heart Lake City School. It would be pretty neat to take those basketball hoops and mount them upright with these clips, and you could even put those clips on jumpers and have them at like interesting angles, right? So you could have an angled bike rack. Then I was thinking, well, maybe I could use these. I've used these in the past out front of the Heart Lake City School. Not a huge fan of them because the bikes don't really fit in there. They always fall over, and it's just sort of lazy in my opinion. So I came up with this using bars, droid arms, and those clips. And I think it's pretty cool. Like you can take a bike and you can put it between like that, and it'll sort of sit there upright. And they could lock it up through the wheel, I guess, technically, right? Maybe not. Maybe it's not the most secure bike rack, but you could lock it to the lower bar, somehow lock it to the droid arm. I don't know. I guess I'm going to run with that for now. I think it looks pretty good here, though, and I'm pretty happy that I allocated all of those bricks, like all of that additional space to this side so that we could have this bicycle rack. It just adds some more stories. We've got the nice sidewalk there, the one-way road going in, the guy getting busted by the cop for coming in the one-way exit there and going the wrong way. I've parked some vehicles there as well, and I think the bowling alley parking lot looks pretty fantastic. I'm definitely happy that I decided to work on this project today. I realize there's lots of different things that I could be doing in the Lego City, but having those old school road plates there didn't look very good, and now we got some more stories. There's some parking there for the bowling alley. Now I realized that I took out the Quickie Mart, which had a parking lot and consumed 4 base plates here in the Lego City. And I essentially just replaced it with the bowling alley, which now consumes 4 base plates. But you know what? I still got the Quickie Mart built. So I've got that on reserve along with a bunch of other things. And now I have a fully integrated bowling alley with a parking lot as well. So it's pretty cool, right? Getting more and more things sort of built and ready to go for, I don't know, the future, I guess, even though the Quickie Mart's underneath the table there. It's not the first parking lot I've built. I've built quite a few, like the Kwik-E-Mart one and also this one here in front of the diner as well. This one I don't think is as good because it has road plates, but it does have brick-built stalls, and once again, those evenly distributed bumper ruiners there as well. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed my video as we built the parking lot for the bowling alley. Let me know what you think by commenting below. I hope you enjoyed the math and the process of it all. Please remember to like, subscribe, and have yourselves a fantastic day. Farewell.